Daichi Kakeru, a 16-year-old high school student, buys a can of Melon soda. Coming out of the shower, still buck naked, he drinks, only for it to transform into a blonde girl kissing him. It takes him by shock at first. However, he's a dunce and a pervert. His lonely self gets so excited over having a girl to himself that he forgets his male goods, which are still on full show. Embarrassed, the girl blows him away with her concentrated power throws, smashing him into his closet door. The girl is a can fairy that would transform into a human form upon drinking, and back once the tab on her ear is pulled. The soda is her life source, needing to be replenished regularly. At a government office, as a poor soul robbed of his male innocence runs from Hidehiko Otoya's office, his secretary informs him of the girl's appearance. Otoya is gay with a rather invasive thirst for men. They visit Kakeru just enough to traumatize him of Otoya's man thirst, and decide to come back when he's untraumatized. At Kakeru's, things are in chaos, with the two always bickering and Kakeru often turning her into a can, leaving her be. He comes home one day to find her passed out and has to blow on her to fizz her back up. Kakeru finally gives her a name, Melon. Kakeru realizes that Melon has no social window and begs his childhood friend and classmate, Najimi, who has a huge crush on him, for help. Back at home, he tells Melon he has arranged school for her, annoying her by saying that'll prepare her to take care of him when he's old and changes diapers. The dude's going for life insurance. Infuriated, Melon almost hits him when they're interrupted by the return of the devil, Otoya. He's much more civil this time, briefing them of Akikon, a group of can fairies who shall participate in Akikon Elect, deciding whether steel or aluminum cans are to stay or eliminate. While at it, he brings up Kakeru's past, making him kick Otoya out and restrict Melon from participating. At school, Melon is well received. She, Kakeru, Gigolo, Kakeru's BFF, and Yuri, a man-hater who's almost sexually obsessed with Najimi, lunch together. Seeing Kakeru being sweet to Najimi, Melon grows jealous, running off to the freezer room followed by Kakeru. Najimi follows and accidentally locks all of them in. While waiting to be saved, Najimi tells Melon how she admires Kakeru for saving her from being kidnapped and held hostage. He had fired at them and risked giving himself a bad name for her. Clumsily, they end up slipping with Kakeru, falling all over the poor girls. Yikes, bad timing, since Yuri comes barging in and upon finding her beloved Najimi under the pervert, sets to assault mode. That day, as Melon and Kakeru leave school, they are waited for by a little girl. At the school gate stands a purple-headed Akikon, Buroko, an aluminum can. Upon seeing Melon, the two immediately grow hostile and move to an isolated place to fight. However, Kakeru interrupts, calling Melon an idiot and allowing Bukuro to flee, who promises to return. On the way back, Melon stomps away, bitter at him for calling her an idiot and dismissing her feelings. On his way back, Kakeru runs into Najimi. They decide on a study session at Najimi's messy place. Turns out she's pretty cheap and reluctant to throw stuff away. After an awkward shower where Najimi, rather provocatively, enters the bathroom offering to scrub his back while he's showering, Kakeru exits the shower to find Yuri with Najimi. Instead of studying, Kakeru and Yuri start fighting, as he makes jokes on them being lovey, almost getting his stuff chopped off by Yuri. Najimi cuts in to calm them down with snacks that Gigolo had brought and ends up drinking a carbonated drink. Weirdly, she gets drunk, even with those, and gets all lusty over Kakeru. As the girls huddle, Kakeru goes out to find Melon, only to find her still angry at him. Meanwhile, a drunken Najimi buys another carbonated drink through a vending machine. As she gulps, a silver-haired girl appears, kissing her. Bowing down, she introduces herself as an aluminum can of a sports drink and declares Najimi as her owner. Melon wanders over to the vending machine, still mad at Kakeru when she encounters the silver-haired girl. Seeing the tab on her ear, she realizes she's an aluminum can, and the two engage in a serious fight, attacking each other. Meanwhile, Kakeru and Gigolo grow concerned about Najimi's absence, leaving Gigolo with the task to attract Yuri for his manly aspirations. Let's just wish the guy to rest in peace. Kakeru heads outside, only to find a hiccuping Najimi wailing in the corridor. Drunkenly, she asks Kakeru out on a date, threatening to vomit if he doesn't accept. That's one way to pressure someone into a date. The next morning, Kakeru grows frustratingly worried for Melon. He heads home to find her injured and waiting by his door. With his usual self irritating her, he makes it up to her, and the two head inside. Melon tells him about her encounter, and soon a lusty Otoya visits once again. Otoya and his secretary, Kizuki, give them advice to track aluminum cans. Kakeru finally accepts to participate in Akikon Elect, however maintains to keep a negotiable stance first, making the pedophile Otoya's downsides a bit too excited. Outside, Najimi abandons her Akikon, refusing to take part in Akikon Elect. While sitting at a park and daydreaming of her upcoming date, she meets Bukuro. She notices the tab on her ear, realizing Bukuro's an Akikan too. Feeling guilty as Bukuro jumps into her owner's, Misaki's, arms, yapping happily, she rushes to find her Akikan. Accepting her in, Najimi names her Yell. Melon and Kakeru are baffled to see Kizuki as their teacher. After class, she tells them she's ordered by Otoya to monitor them and the other Akikon and their owners at school. Learning that there are others on the premises, Melon and Kakeru decide to hide and look for them. Kakeru apologizes to Najimi and cancels their date, saying he'll be quite busy, and goes off with Melon. Unknown to them, Najimi has noticed the tab on Melon's ear. Unfortunately, whenever Kakeru and Melon go to hide and scout for the Akikon, they are met with young kissing lovebirds. Failed and back home, Melon notices Yell on TV at a baseball match. Figuring that she's a sports drink Akikon and is likely to be around in a sports setting, the two head out the next day for the basketball stadium. However, their small outing becomes more of a sweet date, going to parks, tasting melons, and riding a Ferris wheel. At Najimi, she lays sprawled and crawling at the thought of Kakeru kissing Melon. Suddenly, she's contacted by Kizuki, who leads her to Kakeru and Melon's location. Seeing them together, she grows broken, knowing that Kakeru canceled the date with her, but went with Melon. That night, in her fury, she orders Yell to kill Kakeru. As Kakeru waits for Melon after a basketball match, Yell emerges from the shadows with her sword and slices through Kakeru's stomach. Breaking off from her trance, Najimi runs over to find an injured Kakeru. Melon is baffled and rushes over to Kakeru's side. Najimi quickly turns Yell back into a can, however, Melon tells her to go off and she runs away crying. Back at home, Melon bandages an injured Kakeru and, realizing that she's a danger to Kakeru, exits the house, leaving behind a goodbye note. Najimi cries in her room, ashamed of her actions. Throwing the Akikon detector towards Yell, she tells her to leave. Just then, Melon crashes through, asking Yell to take their dispute to somewhere private. At home, Kakeru wakes up to find the note, just as Najimi arrives at his place. She apologizes to him for her actions, however, he isn't mad. They head out to find their Akikon. The two are luckily contacted by Yuri, who has sensed her beloved Najimi to be in trouble. Stuck in traffic, they call Gigolo for help, who arrives in a girl's night tie. Hey, I'm not here to kink shame. They speed off on his scooter and almost get in a crash when Yuri arrives as a witch and, through magic, drops them on a safe road. Najimi and Kakeru arrive to find Melon and Yell in a fierce battle. Just as Melon's about to finish Yell, Kakeru swats her throw away. He yells, questioning what they're fighting for when they both have what they desire most: owners that love them. The two are touched, ending the hostility right there, as they carry out a bleeding Kakeru. Najimi feels that it would be good for Yell to join the school. At school, Yell gets quite popular with everyone blushing over her. Upon knowing that she refers to Kakeru as Kakeru-sama, the class hordes over to him, accusing him of being a pervert with her as well. He saves himself by pretending to make love to a chair. Wouldn't be surprised if this guy actually does so for his lewd aspirations. Despite this, there's still a resonating tension between Yell and Melon. During class, as Kizuki delivers her lecture, Melon finds someone messing with her hair. Kakeru finds that it's Yell who likes to play with things that move. However, Kizuki notices Kakeru disturbing the class and calls him to solve a problem. Instead, in his lewd ways, he engages in a rather inappropriate chatter with Kizuki, until he's thrown a chair at by Yuri, the savior of women. As the bell rings and the students head out, it seems that Kakeru has stirred something in Kizuki. Really questioning the pedophile in these people, honestly. Outside, the kids get ready for a baseball match. Yell and Melon face each other, but their game almost turns into a fight, with Melon even bursting the ball until Kakeru interrupts. After school, Kakeru receives a call from Otoya, frustrating him with the Akikon elect talk. Realizing that he needs to always be in touch with Melon, he buys her a cell phone. Kakeru decides to take Najimi to the pools for her cancelled date. At the pools, Najimi arrives in her frilly white swimsuit, with Kakeru trying his best to get out of a situation where he has to swim. Unknown to them, they've been followed by their Akikons, jealous of having company other than theirs. But they aren't the only ones. Yuri, still obsessed with Najimi, is also tailing them with Gigolo. Poor Gigolo though, he's just excited to be with her. Melon notices Yell's discomfort of seeing her owner and asks if there's some feeling. However, she brushes it away, with Melon doing the same when Yell asks her back. Kizuki and Otoya are also present at the pools, and poor Gigolo gets the bad luck of coming across the man-whore Otoya. The poor guy ends up running, yelling, clenching his trunks, saving his purity. Up on the Ferris wheel, Najimi finally asks Kakeru to be his girlfriend. Surprisingly, he nods and the two almost kiss. But the stalking Akikons can't resist, and Yell hops over to their cart, making it shake. The shaking wakes up Kakeru, revealing that he had nodded while dozing off and hadn't really heard Najimi. As Melon quickly removes Yell, the two grow a bit sad seeing their owners together in such a way. Kakeru brings out the huge phone bill Melon has generated and tells her work. Thinking that he got her a good job, Melon goes with him, only to find out that she'll be working in a maid cafe, owned by a man, Bunny Nankai, caked up in makeup and bunny ears, almost looking like a drag queen in a maid cafe. Pretty good. However, that's not the end, since Kakeru brings the whole group to the cafe. Bet she wants to kick him where the sun don't shine. At home, Yell also expresses to work. However, Najimi justifies that she can get her anything and hence doesn't need to. The next day, as Najimi, Kakeru, and Melon Halloween shop, they spot Yell and end up finding that she's been doing construction work without telling Najimi. Najimi grows upset, and with the trust broken, Yell runs away. Bringing over the shopping at Kakeru's, where he's looking after Najimi, Melon grows jealous as well, and runs away, dropping her phone. On her phone, Kakeru finds numerous unsent emails of things she wished to say to him. Najimi received a delivery of a brand new clock. She realizes Yell had been working to get her that for her broken one and rushes out. She finds Yell and the two tearfully make up. Meanwhile, Kakeru finds a lonesome Melon playing by herself. Gifting her a baseball glove she wanted, he tells her not to keep things to herself and to talk to him from now on. This episode shows us the daily life of the Akikons and their owners. Melon lays drinking her melon, accidentally spilling it over her dress. Deciding to wash it, she does Kakeru's laundry as well, before lying to cool off. However, the weather keeps playing with her, making a rush here and there, sometimes cooling off in a bath and other times taking off washing due to a sudden rain, and then sulking as the heat returns, without realizing that she's in a towel all along when Kakeru comes home with his pervert-ish jokes. Yell goes around doing chores at Najimi's, tidying up. Putting clothes in the washer, she heads into the shower. After freshening up, as she sips her sports drink, she wonders what it must mean, and searches for its meaning in the dictionary. The town must have thought it was doomsday when she practices her meow yell. Later, as she hangs the washing up, she spots a dragonfly. Unable to control her urge to play with it, she messes the house up again. However, she speedily tidies it up, only to return to the washing and find a whole group of cats waiting for her. The kids are surprised when they learn that Kizaki has been hospitalized. After school, Melon and Kakeru think of visiting her but are approached by Misaki. She tearfully tells them that Bukuro has gone missing. At Najimi's, after serving Najimi dinner, Yell excuses herself, saying that she has something to do, but in reality, she sensed someone following them. She goes out to investigate but is attacked by a tranced Bukuro. Hearing the chaos, Najimi comes out and is almost hit before Yell saves her. The blow sends Najimi tattered and collapsed. She raises her head to see a pink-haired Akikon holding Yell by the throat. She kisses her, making Yell disappear. Upon learning of Najimi being hospitalized and the mysterious Akikon, Kakeru and Melon visit Kizaki. She tells them of the rabid Akikon going after both steel and aluminum cans. However, they have no other data on her. Being the strongest of the Akikon, she has even attacked Otoya's office and killed him. Hearing Kizaki, Melon sits outside thinking about the matter when she's suddenly attacked by a tranced Yell and Bukuro. She soon realizes that it's not the real them, as Kakeru also joins in. The two manage to defeat them, however the mysterious Akikon shows up. Blowing them away, she holds Melon by the throat and introduces herself as Mixed Juice Akikon. She's collecting all Akikon and making herself stronger. She kisses Melon, making her disappear, and throws an empty melon soda can at Kakeru before walking off. Kakeru wakes up in a hospital with the empty melon soda can, dearly missing Melon. Suddenly, he gets up storming off hurriedly, as Kizaki follows him, reasoning that he can't go and face the Akikon alone. However, the idiot dashes into the bathroom. He wasn't hurrying at all. The call of nature overrides all trouble. Once he's out, he tells Kizaki of a strategy that is bound to succeed, and together with her and Najimi, set out to find the Mixed Juice Akikon. They find her on a bike and give chase, somehow managing to lead her on low grounds. There, as they wait for Kakeru to unleash his strategy, the dumb guy sinks down to his knees and begs her to return Melon. However, he realizes that Melon isn't fully absorbed by the Mixed Juice Akikon and calls her back, declaring to love her forever. With a thump, Melon breaks free, coming back to her can. Just as the mixed juice falls weak and alive and well, Otoya slides behind her, snatching Bukoro and Yell's cans. He throws them to Misaki, who he's arrived with, and Najimi, telling them to call their Akikons back. They both call out, and in another series of thumps, Yell and Bukoro return to their cans. Despite being weak, Mixed Juice refuses to give up, and stands back to fight again. But with their Akikons back, the owners summon them, and together they fight. Mixing their powers together, Melon, Bukoro, and Yell finally take her down. After she's defeated, Otoya tells them that she's a nameless Akikon, who was abandoned by her owner. Therefore, she hates all those with a loving owner. Sadly, she tells that she was accidentally licked by a cat, who ran away in fright when she appeared. Kakeru, being a dunce, immediately names her Miku, and offers to be her owner. Unlucky for him, though, there are two girls, Melon and Najimi, ready to beat him up. Reunited and bickering once again, the group laughs happily, with the hostilities resolved. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.